I'm so glad everyone is here, tuned in, ready to hear another message from the angelic realm. If you're new here, my name is Cheyenne McClary, and I am able to connect with the angelic realm, and they bring forth messages to help us grow and see light in a different way. So today we have a beautiful message about how we are getting light codes and how we are changing within to see a change in the external world. So there's a lot, like always, that we're going to go over, and they kind of hit it home with a few points. So we're going to break those down at the end, go over them, make sure we understand it all. If you guys have any questions that you want to be answered from them, please let me know. I can always do a video on that. And if you are interested to see any more content or have a different format that you guys would learn better or would like to see, please let me know. So I am excited for you guys to listen to it. So let's get right into it. Welcome all. We are thrilled everyone is tuned and tapped in to learn and grow through their own endeavors, through their own challenges and their own accomplishments that they have made within the group of your collective humanity. You all have a proportionate give and take to what you offer the universe. You offer the universe, your planet, exactly what you feel as though your inner universe gives, what it takes. It is proportionate to what you have inside. As you have your own universe inside, you have your own PlayStation, you have your own Merkaba that rises with the frequencies that allows you to connect with others, connect with the universes, connect with your planet. It is all a part of your own stationary spot of your heart, the own area inside of yourself that stays within you. It is something that is inside of you, such as your consciousness, your awareness to where you are right now, where you are moving through, and where you can go based on the stillness of yourself. You see that when you come in terms to being a vibrationally high entity, you begin to see that the beauty does not come with all of the challenges that you have to conquer, but rather the observation, the allowance to let yourself be in the moment that pushes you through to those accomplishments and those endeavors. You see that it is what you believe to be the other way around. When you are in the stillness, when you are in the awareness that you are content, you are happy, you are ready to flourish, then you begin to see that the doors begin to start opening, because you see that your awareness is put exactly where it needs to be, on you as the creator. The creator has many terms, many ways to commute what it is to be something, to be in the physical body. Each of you individually know exactly what it feels to be in a body, and it is all different. It is all unique. But it means that you come into terms with who you are and what you can do, placed on your awareness of what it is to be here now in your own body, because this is the start to the growth of all. You start as one that goes into the body. Then you begin to blossom into someone who thinks for themselves, someone that raises their awareness. Once this has taken place, then you move to the terms where you set goals, you set longevity of what your soul can reach and touch through the stillness that happened at birth. When you are born, you are not physically here all the time, as we are referring to the soul. Your soul floats back and forth for a while to integrate, to feel better, to feel a part of both, to understand the density of what it is to be in the body. And this time we consider this stillness. Then you begin to grow, you begin to blossom, you begin to have more intellectual capacity to make different decisions, and therefore the integration process has happened and you begin to create. This is the beauty. This is the magic that you all have came into the body to feel. But what is the difference between longing and wanting and stillness for yourself? The longing and wanting is something that you feel, though, is apart from you, something that you are not capable of doing, something that you are not being able to reach, something that feels apart from yourself. But when you go into a spot of stillness, or we will call this meditation, then you begin to see and feel what it is to be in your God self, what it is to be a part of everything, what it is to be happy, what it is to feel your emotions. This is where healing enacts in your own body. This is where healing enacts through the consciousness and awareness of your soul communicating with you. When you do this, then you begin to see that the stillness represents something more than what you think. It represents your awareness to understand that you are capable of all. You have it all inside of you. As you go many places when you are still, your mind might wander for a little. Your mind might go to other places, but then it centers itself and comes back to the motion. The exact emotion that you feel as though you are okay. You are good. You feel your vibration to start rising when you stay connected and grounded into yourself, your own capability of you as a human. This unlocks certain parts of yourself that allows it to go into different avenues and different streams of consciousness that allows the capability to fulfill what you all have inside of you, your missions, your goals. This is how the evolution of your mind grows. This is how the evolution of the connection between your heart and soul grows. It is through the stillness. It is though the dark to the light. It is though you being birthed from the dark into the light. It is all that you know of the yin and yang. It is all that you know of the Fibonacci spiral of life. This is all that is compatible with yourself and tunes you to the right frequency to allow you to blossom or step forward into your new path of creation. You are always stepping into a new part of yourself. When you begin to recognize what it is to be centered, to be grounded and happy within your respected area and place and time that you are in. This is why we say to take baths, get in the shower, walk in nature, meditate. All of these are tools to unlock the awareness. Your awareness is what is your key. Because when that rises, you begin to see that you have different thoughts. You have different perceptions of what to do moving forward. And that begins to grow yourself and your awareness into what it is to be you. What it is to be all. What it is to love others unconditionally with your own growth of you. You have to see that you all have all of everything that you need. You have all the tools that you decide that you want to use. You are the one that pulls certain tools out of your own toolbox in order to administer a certain response or effect. This is why before you get to the stages of your long-term goals, your hindrance of what could be, you come back into your awareness of you being here in the moment, in your stillness and your perfect time and unity. Yes, you all have somewhere you will go when you sit in the stillness. Everyone will go somewhere different, as you are all unique beings that have came from many different places, many different times, and many different planets within the multiverses of what it is to be a part of a dimension. You all have understood certain dimensions that you have been administered into, such as your starting of the fourth dimensional world and also the third dimensional world. You all have certain awarenesses of what dimensions feel like, even as you were a different entity in a different place and time. You will understand what that feeling is when you sit and connect to the understanding of what it is to let your soul move through different places and times with the awareness of you being content in your own stillness. As you begin to do this, you will see that you have to ask permission for your own mind to be not bothered by your company of the heart and your soul. How do you ask permission? Shouldn't it be the other way around? It is not so where you have to ask like a parent, do I have permission to do something? But it is as a activation, it is as a tool that you can use to bring the awareness of the mind that this is what we are doing. This is what we are striving for. When you allow a permission slip to become a part of the equation, then it begins to integrate. Because, as you know now, you are God to your body. And your body is its own soul just as you are. So no one wants to be yelled or deemed bad or seen as less than. So when you ask, you feel a certain sensation within yourself to allow your heart and soul to communicate with the mind, to allow it to unlock and become one, to become a part of you. So you begin to have a companionship between the three, the trifecta. You begin to understand more. You begin to breathe better. You begin to connect. You begin to center. As though when you ask, it is almost as though when your mind hears things 3 times. When you tell yourself something 3 times, it tends to stick a little better. It tends to stick a little more. Because it is the repetition of the remembrance. That is what your brain has been meant to be in the third dimension. A tool to remember, a tool to grab information from all of your storage lockers, if you would like to call it, and begin to show it to you. So when you begin to integrate into a higher dimension, it becomes a morphing stage where you allow it to be more than just a locker room for you. You begin to allow it to pull certain identities, certain emotion, certain experiences out of your soul, out of what your soul can do, out of what you have been, where you will be, and how those missions all come together to inquire about the future prophecies of you. So your mind begins to remember what the soul has intended to do. Then your heart allows it to connect to your authenticity, your allowance of what it is to be who you are with the actions that you take into consideration with yourself. It allows it to be the mediator, the balancing key, the one that has your answers and the one that will not let you lie to yourself. As we know that many of you always go into a state of lying to your own self to make it okay, to make it seem as though you are not in the wrong or not bad. And this is a key or a superpower that you all have. We will not say that it is bad if you come into the recognition of the heart, and then the heart will guide you into the right answer, as though there is a right answer, as though there is a wrong answer. Yes, there is neither, there is all. There is a right answer for you. There is a right answer for someone else. And that is how we all connect in different ways. That is all how we become different puzzle pieces. That is all how we have different edges and different strengths and weaknesses, and how those all merge and fit together as a collective to help one another. That is the beauty. That is the beauty of connecting the trifecta together. That is the beauty of morphing and growing into your own self and your own identity and purpose of you as a person and as a soul. You merge them together. You feel as though you need to feel the betterment of what it is to connect all. We feel as though that many can use these practices to start the healing process or begin to start healing more authentically with yourself. Many decide to bury or store down the traumas that you have upheld for many years, the traumas that defined and give you an identity of who you are. But those do not define you unless you allow it to define you. Those do not hinder your growth unless you decide it should hinder your growth. Healing is a property that is very powerful and can be in store for all if you decide to move into the stillness of the now moment, your superpower of creation. The now moment. Now we appreciate that you all have an awareness that has risen so high, a awareness that has given you an opportunity to morph and grow into something that is completely new, completely different. With that mindset, with the connection of the trifecta, it begins to stir, it begins to blend into the new activations of the DNA, of your body, and of the properties of not only healing, but becoming the version of you that you would like to see every single moment that you are in the entity of the human. You all have these properties, but you begin to bury them. So you can use this as a tool to uphold your own heart and soul motivation for being in this moment. Begin to laugh, begin to have fun, begin to see that you all have the keys that you need. All the keys are within you that you need to unlock each door in your journey. But the awareness is what will truly show you where the key is. How do you bring your awareness up? How do I know what is right? How do I know what is wrong for me? How do I see what my awareness is? It is by allowing your mind to wander. It's about letting your mind stay still. It's about looking at certain scenarios and many different perspectives. It's about seeing what you have seen for decades or years in a different way, in a different position. You see it as though that it is moving, it is continuous, rather than just seeing it in one way. As you ask and you answer the same question in the same way, maybe you answer it different. Maybe you think of it different. This is how you know that your awareness is starting to rise, because the perceptions are different within you and your own self journey. You begin to see how perception is the awareness of what you have done, of your inner work, of yourself. So you bring it all together and you see how that will be the new creation that you all have chosen to uphold, to change the dimensional timeline of your own souls, of your own selves. It is by understanding what love is. Love for yourself to do the inner side. Love for others to help, to give a happy heart, and be serving to all. Serving to all, as we will clarify, does not mean that you have to do everything for every individual all the time and not care about your needs as much as others. We are not saying that, but rather we are saying that you in your own light will understand what it is to help one. That might be to not say anything to that individual. That might be a smile, or that might be a physical way that you can help another person. But it all connects, and it uses the trifecta of yourself to come into perfect harmony of what you are capable of doing. It is almost as though you are making your powers known by coming all into your oneness of your own soul. Then you connect with your pods or your society. Then you connect with your collective, your own unique collective. Then you connect with the overall connective of what it is to be a part of a whole collective. You see, it moves, it morphs, and it creates bonds within each of those certain powers that you have within the oneness. The water and the particles of Gaia that administer growth inside of you. You get codes from the sun all the time. You get codes from the surface of Gaia all the time. If you listen, if you feel, it might be as though it is just, I feel happy. That might be a code that Gaia is sending you. Or I need help in a certain area that I know that you can help me in. This is another code. It might be as though, as simple as I need you to water my plants. I need you to help me feel and heal myself. Because it is all connected to each other. It is all connected to the parts of yourself that will unveil the truth to you. A simple task as washing your body or giving water to the plants can unlock a door that you never thought was possible. With being in the moment and feeling what the message is that those light codes are actually trying to send to you. We are a part of those light codes as well as the angelics. We have trillions that are making up the crystalline grid inside your own environment of Gaia to help strengthen your energy. It is though what you give, you will get back tenfold. Because we are sending that energy right back to you. That is why you feel the hungriness and the fire inside your belly. Because what you give, you get back. Or though if you have other emotions, you will feel those as well. And those are the ones where you are able to grow if they are not as good feelings. And see what the soul, the heart, and the mind is trying to tell you through those. Live your life as though you are everything. Live your life as though you are the answer to others. Live your life as you are the game changers, as we know you all are. Begin to put these practices into place and see your life, see your world, see your soul and your body morph. Much love, much thanks. Goodbye. how was it? I hope you guys all got something from it. I know these messages are something that you really do kind of have to go back and listen to it in order to kind of get everything out of it that they're explaining. So I hope that you resonated with some stuff, and my objective in this part of the video is just to kind of break it down to make it a little more simplistic so you understand it a little better. So you don't have to listen to it 10 million times. So let's get right into it. The further we work on ourselves inside, we come to realize as a now higher vibrational entity that our creation we add to the collective new world comes from inside of us, not from the external world. We start by fractionizing into the body, then we take on goals as we grow. Then, especially now at the timing of ascension, we heal and bring a stillness to understand the realm in which we are experiencing. Then we pull from inside all of the intuitive properties to create something new in the physical world. Okay, so this has a lot of information in it. So pretty much what it's talking about is we came into this world as a baby, right? So they're saying we started by fractionizing into the baby. And so we came in as star seeds and we brought the energy and the intuitive properties to staple into the physical grid. And that happens from growing and setting goals for ourselves. And then that moves us into our own experience and how we create. But when you come in here, you already have that energy that you have stapled into the grid of Gaia. And then the journey is what unlocks those intuitive properties. They also talk about when we enter here, what we do when we're coming in and how we set up goals and have to be still in order to receive intuitive properties and the rewiring of our whole system. So when we set goals, we set intentions, we heal, we get these codes. Everything happens with the next step and presenting those intuitive abilities by being still. Because when you're still, you're able to receive. So when you receive that information, you're able to move forward in a more clear light, a different way. So that's kind of just explaining our process of why we came in here, what we're doing here, and how we see these codes, how we kind of decipher them within the brain. Because if you are in stillness, in a meditation, or you're in your car not thinking about anything and something enters into your brain, it's probably for a reason. It's probably, especially if it's something that hasn't happened to you, that could be from a prior life kind of telling you information to help you unlock certain parts of yourself. Okay. We are currently being birthed from the dark into the light. Our awareness of what we are inside from all of our light bodies are different incarnations, the new understandings of unconditional love. It is the key to understanding how to move forward into ascension. So they're talking about dark into light. It is talking about going from the Piscean timeline and entering into the Aquarius timeline, and that is kind of like the Kali Yugas that they've talked about in previous channels. It's like a cycle, and so there's a dark side and a light side, and you kind of go in this wave. And so we're entering out of the dark and going into the Aquarius, which is the light side. So because of this, everything appears to you more clearly due to a better understanding of all these parts of yourself. Because when you're in duality in the Piscean timeline, everything is very separated. You have to use a lot of the masculinity in order to get through. So it's eye for an eye. It's stabbing people in the back so you get what you want. And when you move into the Aquarius timeline, the other side, it's more about going inside of yourself. How can you help others? How are we connected? I want to be a part of a group. I want to grow myself. I want to feel good. And so that's what they're talking about, is understanding yourself more clearly and all the different parts of yourself. So you get a sense of clarity. You will understand that we are all one, which leads us to a true understanding of what unconditional love is. So it's easier to see unconditional love in the Aquarius timeline, which is where we are right now, than it was in the Piscean, because you are able to go back inside and see that what you're dealing with, someone might be dealing with similar scenarios or completely different, but it all stems from, you know, that we are all creating together and we're all a part of one consciousness, and that leads you to having a better grasp of what unconditional love is. Okay, one of our superpowers is to produce an experience from a belief. We know now that there is no good or bad, as even now we are moving from the dark time of creation into now morphing into developing a new experience with a belief in the light. So, a superpower that we have right now is to produce an experience from a belief. You believe something, you begin to see it. Something amazing is going to happen to me today. I feel so good. I feel so loved. Oh my gosh, someone just called me, or someone just gave me a free coffee, or someone just gave me the biggest hug, or I just found my new boyfriend. Whatever it is, what you feel inside, what you are telling yourself, what you believe, that's a superpower of what you get to attract. Law of attraction. That is a superpower that we have being in the physical avatar. So, to break it down even more, when you believe something so much, you begin to feel it, then you begin to see it. You get shown proof of this from the universe. We are creating a new belief, which is our superpower of how to produce certain things in the light without being so separated from ourselves. So, just like we were talking about in the Aquarius timeline, we are not creating separate from ourselves anymore. We're connecting everything that we have within ourselves back together. And so that means that we are creating a new belief. And when we create that new belief, we're going to begin to start seeing it if you haven't seen it already. It's important to feel the other person who is ascending. Sometimes it's better just to listen or simply smile. So here it's saying, you feel it. If they're actually asking for your assistance or if they need someone to talk to, you can decipher that with your intuition. And these are where you're able to use your intuitive properties and engage with that person accordingly, rather than always trying to find a solution for everything. So, when someone came and talked to you and had a conversation, before you probably thought you had to come up with a solution for them, or you had to be on the same page as them. And that is not the case. You can read their energy and where their vibration is, their alignment inside of themselves, and you can feel, are they needing someone to just be in the presence of them and listen to them, or do they need advice and help? And when you can separate that, you can see how much that can really even help the other person more, and also help you recognize how you can read energy. That's another superpower. You can read someone's energy. Test it. Go and be around someone, and this is something that we do and we don't even know it, and that's how we know that this is a awesome gift. If you walk into a room and it feels kind of cold and stale and you feel like the energy's off, that is for a reason. There's probably something going in. You walk into a room and you feel excitement, you feel joy, that is the energy that is literally bouncing off of everyone back and forth to each other. Because when you're around someone, you're constantly exchanging your energy. The power we will need to create the new world is compiling all parts of what our soul has experienced, then utilizing those certain traits to connect with our society inside the total collective. So here it's saying nobody really understands what it really means to ascend to the fifth dimension. But when we utilize our light bodies, which are those thoughts that pop into our mind, or those intuitive properties, which could also be said as those strange thoughts that pop into your mind, we receive the power of those traits. And that is a step-by-step to get to where you want to go. So we might not know what the fifth dimension is exactly, but we understand and can feel our way to the right next step through the enacting of those light codes that come inside of us and the changing of the DNA. So if we can take the right next step, which is just taking the step. It's going to lead us down the road where we get closer and closer and closer. And we're going to have everything we need in order to get to that point because we're pulling from our intuitive abilities. We are constantly getting codes from the sun and Gaia to grow through the collection of what we've been to create something new. It's important to pay attention to how we feel when we do very simple things, such as washing our body or watering plants. These codes are given at times to pull out of your light bodies through a time of nourishment. So, back to what we were talking about. These random thoughts when you're driving down the road or you're daydreaming are actually your light body remembrances. And they are codes from the angelic grid and the sun that gives us downloads. It's usually always at random times. These are just a few examples. You're taking a shower, you're going down the road, you're watering the plants. It's a time to allow things to come inside when you're not just convoluting yourself with so much information. That's why they talk about the stillness. The stillness is so imperative, it's so important because that's what allows us to receive. There are trillions of angels surrounding Gaia as we speak. Whatever we give for creation, we will get tenfold back, personally for additional growth and understanding. So, the angels are here to support us so that we can bounce these codes back and forth. So, it's from them to us, then us to them, back, 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 back. They just kind of hit each other. We can do the same thing with each other through co-creation. So me and another person. We get tenfold back because we are merging our energies to produce more than you ever could with just one. That's why if you are, for example, doing a business with someone else and you have the right energies, you're matched, you're in alignment, you can accomplish a lot more because you're using two different people. And so you'll get tenfold back. That's one example, but that's in every aspect of life. When you create together, that's why we are a collective. That's why we're one. We can do more together. Live your life as though you are everything. Live as you are the answer to others. Start to understand that we are truly the game changers that morph from where we are into the creators of a new world. So here, they're just kind of closing it out saying that you are more than what reality tells you that you are. You do not have to follow the norms of what people expect from you and stray away from what you feel inside of yourself. The more you hold back, the more you'll be given opportunities to keep holding back until you change something. So you have the answers inside. It is your choice if you use them. If you decide not to, you'll get more answers of why you should not. If you do, you'll get more answers of why you should. So it's about how you spin your intention, your perception of the world and of inside of yourself, and the stillness to enact those codes. That's all I have for this week. We kept the notes short and sweet so we could really nail in those points that they're trying to tell. If you have any questions, like always, please comment them. Tell me what you learned or your favorite part of the channel. So I appreciate your guys' time, and we will be back very soon.